$8.99 in the eyes of the NCAA, but $1,000 in the hearts of Orange Nation and abroad. You see that? That's a basket. But to John Gillen, it must have looked like an ocean because Mr. Gillen was water tonight.
You said at the beginning it was 11 when you started and it's 11 when you finish. So what's up next after you get out of this interview?
It's probably going to have to eat. Out of everything else, you got to eat first. And then take a shower and then just sleep.
What are we eating?
Boy, we eating some good food. I'm not sure what it is, but we eating some good food.
Moving to last night's WNBA draft, Syracuse saw two ladies picked. The first time in school history, multiple players were chosen. Brittany Sykes was picked 7th overall by the Atlanta Dream, the highest overall pick ever for the Orange. March 8th, 1985. Syracuse is taking on its most hated rival in Georgetown, and Patrick Ewing is throwing punches at the late Pearl Washington. A trip down memory lane indeed, and Ewing and the Orange will be exchanging blows once again as the Hoya legend is set to be GU's next head coach.
It's been a long time coming for Adeyeye. He's putting a lot of work on this court, especially on his jump shot, which along with other things has assistant head coach Adrian Autry singing his praises.
Another top 10 opponent for Syracuse in the Carrier Dome, no problem. Good evening, I'm James Hadnot for NCC Sports. After winning 5 straight games, the Orange were losers of its last 3 coming into tonight, making its road to the NCAA tournament that much harder. But as Central New York knows, the Cuse has a crush on dramatic. And tonight would be no different as more than 30,000 watched the drama unfold inside the Carrier Dome as she trying to win back-to-back games against Duke for the first time in school history. Jason Tatum, not wanting to be on the wrong side of that history, knocks down the jumper there, had 14 first half points. Now to the second half, to the rim goes Torian Thompson, cuts the lead to 3 for Duke. And then Tyus Battle was quiet in the first half, but was heard loud and clear in the second, cuts the lead to 2. Now John Gillen, self-proclaimed Mr. Second Half, for 3, ties the game. The Orange coming back strong, but Duke has a couple ballers of their own. Luke Kennard knifes into the lane, 2 of his Duke high 23 points. And then Grayson Allen, who was struggling with foul trouble, shows us the strap and puts Duke up 1. Battle, smooth step back again, yes sir, ties the game back at 73. And late, John Gillen now on his way down the court for the floater, you bet. Ties it back up at 75. But Duke had a chance late. Luke Kennard pulls, can't put it in. Now, Leiden, Battle. Who's going to take the final shot? 4, 3. Gillen does and knocks it down. Game time. Syracuse, 78, tops Duke, 75. Another court storming. And here's John Gillen after the game.
Two athletes, one an opponent in seasons past.
We joke around a lot about who's better in high school.
Another, a student and former player at a different school.
Pretty much, I graduated in 2009.
Both the base for OCC first-year head basketball coach Eric Cerrone. The head man is the reason both are now members of the Lasers.
Coach Cerrone is a great coach. He's hard-nosed, he's old-fashioned, and he demands a lot out of us offensively and especially defensively. So that's what kind of like drew me here instead of going somewhere else.
I found out Cerrone was becoming the head coach at OCC, and he actually gave me a phone call, and I decided to come up here from street basketball pretty much.
Last season, head coach Eric Cerrone was guarding the sidelines for Henninger High School. Tyler Sullivan was the one dribbling the basketball, and Tay Elijah was in the stands. Now the three have come together to give OCC its first regular season championship since 2006.
The connection between Coach Cerrone and Sullivan reaches back farther than just as opponents, when the head man knew Sullivan was on the rise.
I noticed, as an opposing coach that, the type of potential he had. So that kind of sticks out to me. In his senior year, going into a senior year, he was really good in the BACNY games, but that was a little more expected after the junior year he had. He surprised me more between his sophomore and junior year.
What the coach didn't know was the impact he's had on his now starting guard.
Yeah, my confidence definitely grew after talking to him, opposed to talking to other coaches, because he's been around, he's had a lot of players that he sent to scholarship levels. So that kind of changed my mind. I'm going to try to get a scholarship after 2 years, so he really put it into perspective for me.
For Elijah, Cerrone has given him a second chance to play the game he loves.
Because when I played for him in high school, I wasn't as good. Now I'm more opened up. I got more like a lion heart. Like he gives me more of a green light. Like I got more confidence than I had in high school. I got more confidence now.
A bond that was hardened and a bond that was sharpened to become the core of this year's team. James Hadnot, NCC Sports.